why was Mahatma Gandhi killed? What were the 2002 Gujarat riots? What is evolution? For students in India now, these pretty key questions may no longer be answered in your textbook.
I haven't heard of history chapters being removed before this, and I've been teaching from 1981.
Now, the books no longer mention that Nathuram Godse, the man who killed Gandhi, had ties to Hindu extremists, or that the 2002 Gujarat riots under Narendra Modi as Chief Minister ever happened. Now, those riots killed at least 1,000 people, most of them Muslims.
So we decided to look at 21 textbooks of social science from grades 6 to 12, given that the party in power, that's the BJP, that it has been in controversy even in the past for changes made to social science textbooks. There seem to be a lot of changes, deletions pertaining to events in contemporary Indian histories. We saw a lot of deletions made with regard to democracy. There were many changes pertaining to caste and discrimination. So there are 3 detailed references to the Gujarat riots. What happened as part of the exercise last year was that 2 of those 3 references, events leading up to the riots and what happened after that, have been dropped. When the NCERT reprinted the textbooks with all of these changes, we noticed that the lone surviving reference to the Gujarat riots has also been dropped. So with that, we don't really have any detailed reference to the Gujarat riots in the NCERT social sciences textbooks anymore. Another thing that jumped out for us was Gandhi's difficult relationship with Hindu extremists. They've dropped references or sentences on his difficult relationship with the Hindu extremists, how they hated his idea of a secular India, that India should be for Hindus and Muslims, and the extremists, on the other hand, envision India as a country for Hindus.
And as for evolution, more than 1,800 people from India's scientific community have demanded that the theory of evolution be reinstated in textbooks for years 9 and 10. 250 academics and historians have objected to the deletions in history and sociology, including deletions of Muslim history and social revolutions.
This is exactly what the Bharatiya Janata Party and RSS want. They want to remove all Muslim presence from Indian imagination, and that is why history is very important for them. But similarly, they also want democracy to be known as a procedural thing in which citizens only vote, and therefore they don't want the children to talk about social movements or protest movements, which give citizens their agency.
India's Hindutva leaders have been on a mission to end what they call the glorification of invaders.
Leaders of current dispensation have been talking about a lot, the need to correct history, to restore some kind of a balance. Towards that end, it seemed like a lot of deletions had been made pertaining to chapters on Mughals and Muslim rulers of India. There have been 3 rounds of changes to the NCERT textbooks since 2014. Why this exercise is making news is because it just stands out in terms of the scale of changes that have been made. Some of these changes are sweeping. There are chapters that have been dropped.
The Mughals, Muslim conquerors from Central Asia, ruled India 100 years longer than the British, and there have been deep cuts to the chapters about them.
In 1700, in fact, we have the Mughal Empire controls 25% of the world's GDP. Its polity, its administration, the clothes, everything has influences our everyday life.
The National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCERT, has denied accusations that its deletions are based on ideology. Its director, Professor Dinesh Prasad Saklani, said the removals were part of an unbiased rationalization process to ease the burden on Indian students, some of the most stressed in the world.
Rationalization would be that we remove a little bit of information from each chapter and make each chapter a little shorter so that nothing is left out.
But BJP leader Kapil Mishra sees the changes a little differently.
It is a great decision to remove false history of Mughals from NCERT. Thieves, pickpockets and 2 penny road raiders were called the Mughal Sultanate and the Emperor of India.